नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नाम्नि नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Yes, anyone remembers what we discussed in our last session?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
So, in our last session, Prabhuji, we discussed that what usually happens after attaining samadhi. So,
Krishna.
learned that once a person attains samadhi, his mental activities come to a kind of cessation, and such kind of a person is known as a Atmaram person. And certain signs which this kind of person shows is that there's a change in his consciousness level, there is a development of vairagya, and such a person, he is not thinking about anything else. He takes pleasure in himself or in the activities which please Krishna. And for such a person, he knows that everything is temporary in this world. So pain and joy all are, temporary. So in any of these situation, he doesn't stops his services for Krishna. And such a stage can be obtained by anybody if we do bhakti, or we come in association with devotees of Krishna.
Yes. So mental activities, as you mentioned, mental activities means one who curbs down his sense gratification. That is known as that is what happens in the samadhi stage. So we'll take the I will take the next verse number 24. Verse number 24. All of you please join in chanting the shloka. Sa nischyena yuktovyo
नित्यन युक्तव्य
yogo nir an yogo nirvana chetasah
योग निर्विणः चेतसा
sankalpa prabhavan kamamas
सङ्कल्पप्रभवनोकमंस्तु
त्यक्त्वा सर्वानशेषतः
शेषत
मनसवेन्द्रियग्रामं
मनस्यैव इन्द्रियग्रामन्
विनियम्य विनियम्य सम्मान्तः.
विनियमन् समन्ततः.
Yes, so anyone would like to chant the shloka?
स निश्चयेन युक्तव्यो योगो निर्विण्ण चेतसा सङ्कल्पप्रभावनोकमंस्तुत्य सर्वान् शेषत मनसैव इन्द्रियग्रामं विनियम्य समन्ततः.
Wonderful. Yes, anyone else?
सा
Yes, please continue.
हरे कृष्ण
सा
सॉरी
सा निश्चयेन योक्तव्यो योगो निर्वाण चेतसा ते चेतसा संकल्प प्रभावना वान कामं त्यक्त्वा सर्वन् अशेषतः मानसे वेन्द्रिय ग्रामं विनियम्य समन्ततः.
Yes, wonderful. Yes, anyone else?
निश्चयेन योक्तव्यो योगो निर्विण्ण चेतसा संकल्प प्राभवन् कामं त्यक्त्वा सर्व अशेषतः मानसेवेन्द्रियग्रामं विनियम्य समन्ततः.
Wonderful. Yes, so anyone else?
निश्चयेन योक्तव्यो योगो निर्विण्णचेतसा सङ्कल्पप्रभावन् त्यक्त्वा सर्वन् अशेषता मनस्वेन्द्रियग्रामं विनियम्य समन्तता.
Yes, wonderful. Yes, anyone else? Okay, we'll read the translation. One should engage oneself in the practice of yoga with undeviating determination and faith. Here Krishna is mentioning Nishchaya. In Nishchayana means determination. Undeviating determination and faith. One should abandon without exception all material desires, born of false ego, and thus control all the senses on all sides by the mind. So two very important thing is one should engage oneself in practice of yoga with undeviating determination and faith. Anirvana chetasa. Anirvana chetasa and nishchena. These two important points. Nishchaya means with firm determination. Anirvana chetasa without deviation. One should, without deviation, practice yoga. One should abandon without exception all material desires, false ego, and thus control all the senses now. Sides by mind. Yeah, so we'll read the purport, then we'll try to understand more in detail. The yoga practitioner should be determined and should patiently prosecute the practice without deviation. One should be sure of success at the end and pursue this course with great perseverance, not becoming discouraged if there is any delay in the attainment of success. Success is sure for the rigid practitioner. Regarding Bhakti Yoga, Rupa Goswami says, Utsaha Nishcha Dharya Tat Tat Karma Pravartanat Sangat Tyagat Sato Vritti Shadbir Bhakti Prasiddhyati. So here in this verse, Rupa Goswami is explaining 6 elements which helps a devotee to progress in bhakti. Rupa Goswami is the first and foremost disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has enunciated the principle of bhakti in detail. That how a devotee should practice principles of sadhana bhakti, how he can make advancement, how he can serve Krishna and attain Krishna's prema. So all that he has elaborately explained, primarily in 2 of his books. He wrote a lot of books. Out of them 2 are very prominent. One is Nectar of Instruction, Updeshamrita, and second is Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So this Rupa Goswami is none other than, if you see his constitutional position, he is known as Rupa Manjari. Manjaris are the one who assist the gopis who serve Radharani and Krishna in their transcendental pastime. So they are assistant to the gopis. So this Rupa Goswami is the foremost of the disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He received the instruction from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Prayagraj. He met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Prayagraj And there, for a very long time, he received lot of instructions from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then he composed lot of books so that a devotee can practice bhakti and develop love for Krishna, following those principles. So, if we try to understand about Rupa Goswami, he was born in a Brahmana family, but he was very intelligent, knowing various languages, Arabic, Indian, Bengali, like Hindi, Bengali, lot of such languages he was knowing. So he was one of the foremost minister in the assembly of the Nawab of Bengal. But when he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he developed a desire to leave everything, and he came to Vrindavan, and he changed his name when he was working for that Nawab. He adopted a Mohammedan or Muslim name. But leaving aside all those, when the Nawab came to know that Rupa Goswami has developed this desire to leave everything and go to the Vrindavan, he captured him. He captured the Rupa Goswami and put him behind the bars. So somehow he could make himself release, escape that prison, and whatever money he was having, he had accumulated over a period of time, for as he was working for a long time, he was having gold coins which was filled in the two boats full of gold coins. So one boat he straightaway gave to the Vaishnavas who were engaged in the service of the Lord. 50% of the wealth he gave away. 25% of the wealth he distributed among his well-wishers, his relatives, like that he did. And 25%, remaining 25%, he saved for some time, and later on that also he gave away. So then he came to Vrindavan, and his one more brother, Sanatan Goswami, who is age-wise elder to him, but in practice of Krishna consciousness, Rupa Goswami was senior to Sanatan Goswami. So this Rupa Goswami, he was so exalted. He used to do his bhajana, chanting on the banks of Radhakund. He used to do chanting, and there were lot of instances where Krishna was personally present to take care or to protect Rupa Goswami from the wild animals or the beasts, especially tigers and lions, because they used to come to drink water. And Rupa Goswami, those days, nowadays, if you visit Radhakund, it is very much developed, concrete and all those structure is there. Earlier, it was simply a pond in middle of the forest. So wild animals are there. So one day Sanatan Goswami saw that Rupa Goswami is chanting. He is completely absorbed in chanting, and Krishna is standing there with a stick to guard him from the wild animals, tigers and lions, which used to come to drink the water. On one such occasion, Sanatan Goswami again saw Rupa Goswami is chanting, and it's a very sunny day, scorching heat. So that day he saw that one beautiful young girl who is none other than Srimati Radharani, is providing shadow with her one sari's one end. She is giving that shadow to Rupa Goswami. Seeing these things, Sanatan Goswami, because he is elder by age, he scolded Rupa Goswami. What is this you are doing? We are supposed to serve Radha Krishna. They are the Lord of our heart. We should serve them. Rather, you are receiving service from them. So why don't you do one thing? You construct a kutir, one small hut for yourself, so that you are protected from all these things. They are coming to serve us. We should not take service from Krishna, from Radharani. Rather, we should serve them. So there are two things here. One is we should always serve the Lord. But when we serve the Lord, we develop that relationship with the Lord. Always there is a transcendental competition. Krishna wants to please his devotees, devotees want to please his Lord, means Krishna. So like that, competition is going on between the devotee and the Lord. Just like if you see two lovers are there, so always they try to, please each other. That kind of competition is always on. So same way, Krishna, he want to satisfy, please his devotees, serve his devotees, and devotees want. So Krishna takes this opportunity to serve his pure devotees like this, like Rupa Goswami. So he was such an exalted Acharya in the Parampara who has enunciated principles of bhakti in detail. All practical things he has given. That how a neophyte devotee can practice bhakti yoga and gradually he can make advancement and attains Krishna's favor, Krishna's love. So that is about Rupa Goswami. Continuing further, the process of bhakti yoga can be executed successfully with full-hearted enthusiasm, perseverance, and determination by following the described duties in association of devotees and by engaging completely in activities of goodness. So how bhakti yoga has to be practiced? This is various basic things that Rupa Goswami is presenting here. How bhakti yoga has to be practiced so that one can attain the perfection in the bhakti yoga. So as Krishna is mentioning, one should practice yoga with undeviating determination and faith. Same way Rupa Goswami has mentioned similar instructions or similar things to follow. What is that? Utsaha. Utsaha means enthusiasm. In enthusiasm, what happens? When you are enthusiastic, yes, anyone can explain what does we understand by enthusiasm? What happens when we are enthusiastic?
We are always eager to serve Krishna in the best possible way. That passion of serving Krishna drives us to be always in full energy, creativity, and full service to Krishna.
Okay. Yes. Anyone else? In general, mean also somebody can share how enthusiasm or what enthusiasm is exactly. Yes. Anyone else?
So we are very happy and we look forward to do more and more.
Mm-hmm.
When
Yes.
we are enthusiastic, we want to do more and more. And that's how we can serve Lord more and more if we are enthusiastic.
Yes. Yes. So in enthusiasm, what happens? One becomes, in a way, greedy. to do more and more for Krishna. Greedy in the sense that greed is very, very positive, that drives us. Just like if you see, suppose some program, festival is there or marriage is there at your place, you are so absorbed, you are so happy, and you are looking forward for such program from a month. Oh, 1 month is remaining, 15 days are remaining, you are fully fired up, doing this, doing that, heartfully you are doing everything. When you are doing heartfully everything, even though you may stretch, you will not feel tiredness. You will not feel tiredness. But in our current stage, what happens? Because of our bodily limitation, after few days, 2-3 days, because this body, we are not that pure, this body will apply some break. Oh, you need to take some rest. But those who are completely pure, just like Prabhupada, at age of 70, completely he is enthusiastic. How? If you hear when he visited, Amritsar, when Prabhupada visited, I was like now just came to my mind, I am sharing. So Prabhupada was always there with his disciples. Those disciples were in their 20s, very young, very energetic. But Prabhupada, even though he is very old, his enthusiasm is so high, these young devotees are not able to catch up with Prabhupada. Prabhupada, one program after another program after this, that full day, some 15, 16 hours, 18 hours, he is completely engaged in preaching activities, pandal program, meeting people, like that. He is completely, and with great enthusiasm, with great energy, he is doing the things, because he is pure devotee, first of all, and the driving force for him is body is not required. From at spirit level, he is deriving that energy to serve Krishna. In our case, what happens? We drive energy from bodily level, but those who are pure, they derive energy from spirit level. They derive the energy to serve Krishna. So initially, enthusiasm will come in association of devotees. When we have value, oh, next month this festival is coming, I have to go and attend the festival. What all services I can do? If some service is there, oh, I will do like this, I'll do like that. We start thinking and we start putting our heart into it. That is enthusiasm. Now perseverance or here nishchad. Perseverance is, this is also one of the quality a devotee should have. There are some 20 qualities that Krishna is sharing in Bhagavad Gita. I'll just pull up those qualities also. So perseverance is, in spite of external situations, there are a lot of, when we are serving Krishna, there are a lot of opposing elements or obstacles are there, which may discourage us. There are a lot of opposing elements or obstacles one may encounter while serving Krishna. But no matter what, when a devotee is still continuing serving Krishna, that is what is perseverance is. Just like if you see Vasudev, when he was carrying Krishna from Mathura to Gokul, lot of obstacles were there, but he didn't care at all. He just simply executed Krishna's instruction. Whatever Krishna instructed, he simply followed. Krishna said, "Take me to Gokul." This much only he heard and started executing the instruction. He didn't even asked that I am shackled, I cannot move, this door, this gate of prison house is bolted, how it will get open, there is complete dark, how I will take you, I myself is bound up, how I will take you to Gokul. Nothing he asked, he simply executed. As soon as he started executing, without any second thought, Krishna, he facilitated all the things. So sometimes when devotees, they practice principles of Bhakti Yoga, rules and regulations of Bhakti Yoga, they may encounter such opposing situations, elements, but in spite of those things, if they continue to serve Krishna, that is the best thing. And this is what helps us to make advancement in Krishna consciousness. When there is a comfort zone, everyone can practice, everyone can do. But when there are opposing elements, difficulties, obstacles, how we choose Krishna, how we take out time for Krishna, this is what helps us to advance. This is how Krishna recognizes us. Next is determination. With great determination. Determination and perseverance, more or less, it's same only. Next is dharya. So this determination also, here very nice example Prabhupada has brought out in the purport. This is mentioned in one of the Purana, this example. Once there was a small sparrow, and that sparrow laid eggs on the shore of the ocean. And with some big wave came and took away the eggs of this sparrow. Seeing this sparrow, she got very disturbed, cried a lot, and then because being a mother, her eggs are very dear to her, so she became very disturbed and she took a vow that until and unless I retrieve my eggs, I will empty this ocean. Until and unless I will retrieve my eggs. So she started taking water in her beak and started emptying the ocean. And as soon as he started doing this, news spread out in all the society of birds, and king of the bird is Garuda Dev. And when he came across this news, he heard this news, he immediately, out of compassion, he immediately appeared to help this sparrow. Seeing the determination of his sparrow, Garuda Dev, he requested Varuna Dev, who is the in charge of ocean. Varuna Dev, he takes care of ocean. He is the deity of the ocean. He requested, nothing worked out. Then he chastised, or in a way, started telling Varuna Dev, immediately return the eggs, he started frightening. And when he started doing that, Varun Dev appeared and returned the eggs of that sparrow. So this is how, when we are determined in executing Krishna's instruction, just like Arjuna was determined to execute that for the pleasure of Krishna, I have to fight this battle. Even though a lot of opposing elements were there, obstacles were there, Krishna always helped him. In case of Jayadratha also, if we see, Krishna immediately came forward to help him. Next is Dhairyat. Dhairyat means patience. Patience is also very, very important in practicing Bhakti Yoga. How? Anyone can share why patience is required?
I think the moment we start serving Krishna, we also start expecting as if, something will turn very, very drastically positive in our lives. But we have to continue to have patience to serve Krishna, thinking that yes, one day there'll be a time when I will get that true bhakti, true surrender, and Krishna prema. It might not happen in a day or so. So while we apply these qualities, I think patience is equally important.
Yes. Anyone else? Why patience is important?
We have to continue. We have to continue on our path, yes, irrespective of what we get in return, or how much we progress or not.
Yes. So there are two. One thing is there. If you are not patient, then you will become patient. One should have patience so that that person doesn't become patient. Right? So patience, many a times when we start practicing Bhakti Yoga or Krishna consciousness, especially initial stage of our Krishna consciousness goes very, very well. 1 year or 2 years. We feel, as though, lot of things we experience initial year of Krishna consciousness, 1 or 2 years. But after that, we start losing patience. We think, we are not progressing, nothing is happening. What I am doing, everything sounds so mechanical. We lose our patience. But what is very important is consistency is important. Consistently, we have to be engaged in Krishna service and serve Him with great determination. So when we do that, you will see over a period of time, down the line, a decade or two, you would have walked a far distance, covered a very long distance. Overnight, it's not possible. In general, motivational speakers or philosophical people, they give example of how a person, he sows the seed into the soil, and every day he's taking out the seed from the soil to check what is the status, whether it has fructified or not. Every day he's doing like that. So whether that seed will turn into tree or a plant, never ever it will turn into a tree or plant. Patiently, he has to cultivate the seed by giving water and conducive condition conditions so that the seed can be fructified and a plant or a tree can come out of it. Same way, Prabhupada gives very nice example. Even a lady to give birth to a child, they have to wait for 9 months. Not like immediately child is delivered. They have to maintain that patience for 9 months even to have a child. Not like marriage has happened, next day child is there. Not like that. The same way, this bhakti is lifelong project. We have to simply continue, execute, and whatever is there, Krishna will take care. As a matter of duty, we have to do our best. Rest is in Krishna's hand. Whether he takes us back to Godhead, doesn't take us, whatever is there, he has to, that we have to depend upon Krishna. Next comes is Tat Karma Pravartanat, following the prescribed duties. With great enthusiasm, determination, and patience, we have to follow the prescribed duties, means rules and regulation or the principles of Bhakti Yoga. When we follow those prescribed rules and regulations, just like a patient, he follows proper instructions how to take the medicines, he can recover very fast. But he is doing whimsically. One day he is taking medicine, second day he is not taking, third day he is taking 2 tablets. All that he is doing, will he be able to come out of his disease? Very difficult. So one has to, under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, one has to follow the principles or rule and regulations of Bhakti Yoga, Tat Karma Pravartanat. One has to execute his activities of Krishna consciousness of Bhakti in association of devotees. Sangat Yagat, in association of the devotees, he has to do. Tato vritti shadbir bhakti prasiddhyati. Sato vritti means sato means in mode of goodness. He has to execute this activities in mode of goodness. How? When his mind is completely absorbed in Krishna, he is always situated in Satoguna only. So these are the 6 principles which helps a devotee to make advancement in Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada says one more thing. God help those who help themselves. So when we take a step forward towards Krishna, so Krishna will come forward to help us. We may think, oh, Krishna should come, then only I'll do. No, not possible. First you have to do, then you will see Krishna's reciprocation. We'll move to the next verse. Shanay Shanay Upramamed Buddhya Dhriti Grihitaya Atma Samstam Manakritva Nakinchit Avichintayet. Gradually, step by step, with full conviction, one should become situated in trance by means of intelligence, and thus the mind should be fixed on the self alone and should think of nothing else. So here, actually Krishna is mentioning how a person can attain that Yoga Ruda stage. Yoga Ruda stage, how a person can attain by undeviating determination and faith, abandoning all material desires, Here, gradually by step, with full conviction, one should become situated in trance, means situated in samadhi by means of intelligence. Intelligence is an instrument for a person to reach to the stage of samadhi. And this is what we saw in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna was mentioning Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi Eka Kuru Nandana Bhushakhai Anantascha Shubhankarji, do you know that verse? Shubhankarji, are you there? Verse number 2.44. No, 2.47, I guess. Anyways, so Krishna is mentioning about Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi. One's intelligence has to be aligned. Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi Eka Kuru Nandana. His intelligence has to be aligned with the intelligence of Krishna, with the intelligence of these scriptures, with Krishna's words. Otherwise, his intelligence will be divided like multiple branches. Bhushakhahi anantascha. Unlimited multiple branches. If that person intelligence is not aligned, he will be confused. And thus, mind should be fixed on the self alone, should think of nothing else. One should not think of anything else but of Krishna. Self means we are part and we are spirit soul, and this spirit soul belongs to Krishna. So ultimately, if we are meditating upon our own self, we are meditating upon Krishna only, because we are his part and parcel. We are his part and parcel. We read the purport. By proper conviction and intelligence, one should gradually cease sense activities. This is called pratyahara. The mind being controlled by conviction, meditation, and cessation of the senses should be situated in the trance or the samadhi. At that time, there is no longer any danger of becoming engaged in the material conception of life. In other words, although one is involved with matter as long as material body exists, one should not think about sense gratification. One should think of no pleasure aside from the pleasure of the Supreme Self. This state is easily attained by directly practicing Krishna consciousness. So as there are 8 steps of practicing yoga, one of the steps is pratyahara. Pratyahara means controlling the senses or not over endeavoring. Rupa Goswami explained about pratyahara means not putting endeavors for sense gratification. Just to keep the body and soul together, you do the activities, material activities, just to keep the body and soul together. That is the whole and sole purpose of interacting with the matter. Just like there are examples of various acharyas, how for the sake of executing just material duties or to keep the body and soul together, they used to live their life, not for some other purposes. Just like Rupa Goswami we heard. So he used to drink just 1 glass of buttermilk every day, not every day, alternative days. Because that is all what our body needs. not so much of food. So like that, because he is spiritually enlightened, he is deriving all his energy from the Atma, not from this matter, from this body. Just to keep the body alive, he is just drinking a glass of buttermilk alternative days. So same way, a devotee, he interact with the matter. He do all the activities which may look similar to that of people in general they are doing. But here, whatever interaction he is having with the matter, it is simply dovetailed in the service of Krishna. If he is taking rest or sleeping, so that his body can be energized to serve Krishna with great enthusiasm again. So devotees of Krishna, their main whole and sole purpose is to serve Krishna. For that, whatever bare minimum requirement is there to keep the body and soul together, they perform those activities. We'll read this verse also. Yato yato nischalati manas chanchalam asthiram tatastato niyam yeitad atmani eva vasamnayat. From whatever and wherever the mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self. So here Krishna is explaining that a person's mind will, because mind's nature is what? Fickle in nature. So it may go here and there, again and again, just like many of you, those who are chanting, you experience this thing. While chanting, your mind goes here and there. But again, you have to bring back to that attention of hearing. You have to bring your mind back. How? By hearing attentively what you are chanting. Right? So,
Yes.
one has to withdraw this thing. Mind, just like a child nature is what? Prabhupada says a child is by nature is very active, cannot sit ideally. So it is up to you how you engage the child. You have to engage or train the child in such a way he is engaged positively, doing the work, positive work. Not like running here, there, creating nuisance. If nothing is there, if he is not trained, if he is not taken care, he will create nuisance. But if he is trained, he will engage in a positive work. So like that, we have to train our mind, and it can happen only by following the instructions. Tat tat karma parvartanat, in association of devotees, following the instructions of or principles or regulations of Bhakti Yoga in association of devotees. Because devotees, they can help us by correcting us. Our nature is like, we feel, oh, I am 100% perfect. But when we stay with devotees in association of devotees, you find some frictions or some kind of, these things are there because there is a lot of scope is there for improvement. Those devotees, they will help us out in making advancement. The association of devotees is very, very important, very, very crucial point in practicing the principles of Bhakti Yoga. And that this is what Prabhupada has given to the entire world through this organization. Purport. The nature of the mind is flickering and unsteady, but a self-realized yogi has to control the mind. The mind should not control him. One who controls the mind and therefore the senses as well is called Goswami or Swami. And one who is controlled by the mind is called Godasa or the servant of the senses. The Goswami knows the standard of happiness. In transcendental sense, happiness, the senses are engaged in the service of Rishikesha, or the supreme owner of the senses, Krishna. Krishna is the owner of the senses. So a devotee, he knows his real pleasure is derived from serving Krishna. Rishikesha Rishikena Sevanam Bhaktir Uchyate. That is the actually bhakti. Is what? Engaging our senses in the service of that supreme honor of the senses, Krishna. That is what is bhakti is. If we don't engage or have a control over our senses, we will known as Godasa. Whatever our senses demand, we do that. That is Godasa. Whereas a Goswami is the one who has full control over the senses by serving Krishna, engages the senses. So here Prabhupada has mentioned very nice thing. A Goswami knows the standard of sense happiness. Means he'll not take, just like I used to give the example of a bird. Anyone remembers that bird example? No one remembers. आप सोचते होंगे प्रभु जी कहाँ से पक्षी ले आते हैं. So there is a bird known as Chataka bird. That Chataka bird drink water only when it rains. Chataka bird drinks only rain water. No groundwater, no any other variety of water. Only water she drinks when it rains. Same way, we should develop this chastity. It's known as chastity. Chastity means taking pleasure in relationship with Krishna. Whatever is averse to my Krishna consciousness, how much ever glittering it may be, it cannot give me pleasure. Cannot give me pleasure. Only pleasure that I want in my life is pleasure which is in relation with Krishna. If Krishna is not there, then why I have to do that activity? Devotees, for Krishna they can do anything. For themselves, for their own this thing, they will not even move an inch of an activity they will do if it is not pleasing to Krishna. So this is a very crucial, important thing one should try to develop. Serving Krishna with purified senses is called Krishna consciousness, and that is the way of bringing senses under full control. What is more, that is the highest perfection of yoga practice. So this is the highest perfection of yoga. Yoga means to link or to connect with Krishna. And when we engage our senses in Krishna's service, that is the highest perfection of yoga. With this, we'll end here. Anyone has any questions or anything to share or ask? Any questions? No questions. So we'll end here. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki
Jai.
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 ki
Jai.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.